provide a little bit of context here this morning. So I had two beautiful, lovely divine souls out here this weekend at the ranch. And invariably, we ended up on the concept of love, finding that perfect partner, trying to figure out why some things fall apart, this concept too of the toxic love, or love that isn't serving us and isn't in alignment with our highest vibrational purpose or our life path. And one thing I really didn't get time to talk to these beautiful ladies about was the understanding of the fact that every single partner, now I'm going to talk specifically about romantic love, but this concept really spills over into absolutely every type of relationship we will experience. But let's circle back to romantic love, because of course, for many people, for many individuals, this partnership, this divinely orchestrated version or faction of love is the highest ideal that we can experience here on planet Earth. Now, first of all, I want to unpack why it is that human beings feel that this partnership or this romantic love is the epitome of the expression or experience of divine love. Okay. First of all, it is the most completely vulnerable that you will be with another individual. Now, there's other areas where this can manifest. I know in caring for my grandmother, who was extremely dear to me at the end of her life, and just again being very vulnerable with that other soul, was a type of love that I experienced that has been the epitome of love that I've thus experienced here on planet Earth. It was just raw and real and just so authentic. But in terms of romantic love, again, it's where we are the most naked. It is where we are physically the most naked with that other individual. It is where we essentially show all parts. And this is why we crave that deep connection so viscerally, okay? Because again, it's really the only relationship where we get to mirror back to the other all pieces and aspects of our true beingness. So let's provide some context here. All other relationships, whether it is parent and child, child and parent, there is an aspect of us which we are not able to share. That would be that romance, that coming together of the body, okay? Also, in a parent and child relationship, the parent is supposed to be the one that is the caregiver, is supposed to provide a certain sliver of this experience of love. Let's look at siblings. Again, there are certain aspects of the sibling relationship which we're never going to enter into a certain level of vulnerability. With that romantic partnership, that is truly where all of our sides will show. We are the caregiver. We are also the recipient of that caregiving energy if the partnership is balanced. We have that intimate love connection, which is supposed to be on the mental plane, the physical plane, all of the different aspects of being we're sharing with that other. We also share all of our struggles. We share all of the dark parts of ourselves. Now, in a lot of other relationships, we do not share or bring forth the darkness. And so when we see that reflection of love mirrored back to us in that ultimate divine love relationship, it's that individual that sees 180-degree or 360-degree all aspect of the other self and can love it anyway. And that's why we really gravitate or hold in such a high regard this partnership. So then when we're traveling along this journey to find or align with this, what I call divine love, this perfect partnership, it's really important to understand that no relationship that we have experienced previously or are experiencing in the now moment is incorrect or wrong. Everything comes of the asking. Everything is an outcropping of the desire of one's heart. But oftentimes what we are asking for, or the gravity of the initial ask, is in and of such that we also must go through the transformation process to be in alignment and to be ourselves the manifestation of what we're asking for. So when we identify and absorb this very fact, we can also understand that a lot of times, or almost in all cases, what the universe is truly mirroring back to us are aspects of the self that we need to work on, that we need to whittle away into that perfection that we want to see mirrored back to us in that divine counterpart. So falling or allowing ourselves to return to the grace of understanding. This also ties back into the principle of the witnessing of the eternal moment, or the eternal now, or the eternal journey. When we can truly understand that consciousness, or the I am, does not die, it does not cease to exist, then we can also understand that in lifetime after lifetime, in creation after creation, that which we are is continuing to learn, and that it is continuing to experience. And even at the hand of what we would conceptualize as abuse, pain, suffering, stress, we come to know the depth of that release of pressure. When that which hurts us is absolved, we can perceive and experience a love which is going to manifest at such a greater depth. So I'm going to provide some context in terms of an example. So let's take a dog that has been continually beaten and has suffered greatly, just, never been taken care of, never been loved or cherished. You will meet a dog like that, maybe in an animal shelter. And the kind of love that is capable from, or that is called forth from that consciousness, that animal being or experiencing such an extreme context of being unloved, when it is in the experience of the true reflection of love, its devotion is beyond words. The way it loves is so deep, the way that it cherishes the love is so all-encompassing. It couldn't have come through any other mechanism but that contrast of extreme suffering. And the manifestation or the experience of that love, when the previous experience had been so incredibly the opposite of it and so painful, it's just, when it finally manifests, the unfoldment of it and the experience of it supersedes the bliss, supersedes the experience of bliss, had that context not been a precursor to it. Hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully anything that you are going through, you can start to understand it from a different vantage point, one that is in service. Essentially what that means is sometimes the most beautiful thing is actually the thing which has been the most broken, the thing which has allowed itself to not become bitter through all of the pain. And that's sort of the silver lining to the teaching of contrast and context, is that if one can keep their heart completely pure, if one can follow the divine teachings, follow these things which all of the great religions and spiritual principles of guidance have been nudging us towards, from really the beginning of recorded history, we understand that the quest is not necessarily as difficult as it might feel in the moment. It's about perspective. When we change our perspective, when we remind ourselves to fall back into our heart space and see the genius in all of it, the genius in the unfoldment of creation, we start to love it all. I was speaking earlier in an earlier video about loving thy enemy. And that's really truly the concept of dissolving this thought, this attack thought of any enemy at all. It's about the perception, or the truest perception, that everything is in loving service of your request, of your desire to experience. And so back to this idea of romantic love and what these two beautiful souls were, questioning for within their own consciousness was, is the perfect love going to unfold for me? And the answer to everyone is, the perfect love is absolutely going to unfold for you as you perfect the perfection that you are. As you see through the eyes of spiritual sight, as you continue to see through the eyes of love, therefore you will experience that exact correlation or vibrational frequency to which your consciousness can understand what you are experiencing and what your experience is trying to teach you, and essentially up-level you to that next tier of your own experience. All right, I'm going to wrap this video up, wishing you all a very beautiful Remembrance Day weekend. Hopefully you can remember to attune yourself to that highest expansion of your own experience, and hopefully we'll see you in the next